I didn't realize I needed it. um, and the learning from that over the last 6 months has just been so powerful. I've had years of not being happy and not realizing that that wasn't the way to live life. Just accepted that no, I'm designed to be miserable. Designed not to want to get out of bed and face the day. And that's probably been my big win for the last 6 months, is just switching that identity. And
Mr. Gillis,
hey, Cody, how are you?
I'm a bit rough, man, but I'm on the mend though, I think. So how about yourself?
Yeah, going great, going great. Back of like, and just the other day we were having a discussion, and I've had a tendency to always jump in and correct people, be intellectually superior. You said to me on one of the calls, and I went, "Yeah, I've really taken that one." um, Took a little bit for it to soak in, but it did. And She said something the other day, and she was talking about a distance, and she said 300 meters. And I sort of went, it can't be 300 meters, but I said nothing. And then she corrected herself, and she just said, man, you have changed. Just that was that, man, you have changed. So, so she's seeing it. She knows I'm in the program, and she's supportive of it. And I think she would benefit from a similar program, but I haven't mentioned what you've launched this week. I don't think she'd be willing to do the couples thing, but I think she personally would develop would learn something from going through this process. I mean, the process for me, I didn't realize I needed it. um, and the learning from that over the last 6 months has just been so powerful. I've had years of not being happy and not realizing that that wasn't the way to live life. Just accepted that no, I'm designed to be miserable. Designed not to want to get out of bed and face the day. And that's probably been my big win for the last 6 months, is just switching that identity. And getting over a sense of failure in the marriage and being more positive about life. And um, and I think I've achieved a sense of detachment from the whole circumstance as well. And just it will be what it will be. If we come back together, it'll happen when it's meant to happen. Um, and in the meantime, I'll enjoy myself. I'll be happy with what I've got. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
is that a rambling summary? I'm
No,
sort
it's
of
fantastic,
off
man.
tangent. Yeah.
It's good. So yeah, the thing with she does like the couples things that we're doing is going to be perfect for her
Mm,
because at
yeah.
the end of the day, Mark, excuse me, a marriage is nothing more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
And if you're, let's say, on the marriage scale 5 and she's on the marriage scale 5, it's like your marriage is a 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. It's
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
you elevate yourself to a 10 on the marriage scale, now 10 plus 5 is 15. The marriage is better simply by you getting better.
Yes. Yeah.
And the same is true for her. Like uh, if she can improve herself from, let's say, 5 to 10, it's like, and you can improve yourself from 5 to 10. Now the sum total of the marriage is 20, whereas it
Yeah.
was. And at the end of the day, like it'll definitely help her. Like some of the things we hear all the time, right? Is like my wife just doesn't believe I can change, or my wife's suspicious of
Mhm.
my changes, that type of stuff. And it's
Mm.
like, well, that's because she doesn't know what we know. That's because
Yes.
she's not going through what we're going through and what we're teaching and what you're learning and all of that stuff, right? So when when she goes through that simultaneously and she sees that actually he's changing because it's in his best interest to change, and I'm changing because it's in my best interest to change. Like, right, the change is always selfish.
Mm.
It's always selfish. You change because it benefits you, but I call it selfish benevolence. And that's one of the things, like, maybe you could speak to that in a little bit. It's like one of the things that I try to teach is selfish benevolence. It's like, how do we not reject our nature, which is one of self-interest, but use that nature in a way that benefits other people.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that I'm really trying to teach and bring the change about in you or anybody else really is like this change actually benefits me.
Hmm.
It's like you said, I'm actually a happier person. I'm actually a more grounded person. I'm actually a I'm just better off by making these changes. And whether my wife comes back into this relationship or she doesn't come back into the relationship, it doesn't really matter because these changes are gonna benefit you either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when the benefit of the change, like if you're just doing this or a man's just doing this because the change will get his wife back, she's absolutely right to be suspicious, right?
Hmm.
Absolutely right to be suspicious. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I'm at a place, and I've been thinking the last couple of days since your couples and wife program launched about how would I raise it? Because I did try and raise some of the stuff a few months ago. We were having a coffee catch up, and
Yeah.
there was, like the toxic habits and that. They're just great rules for relationships
Well, for
and I
life in general, really, I think.
life in general. Yeah, no, I don't want to say relationships. I mean with everybody. Um,
Yeah.
and trying to and I was trying to suggest to her, there's these four toxic habits that can wreck any relationship. And I owned up and I said, I know I've got at least two of them on regular display, and said, maybe you'd like to look at the videos. And I sort of went down that path, and she shut me down like, nah, that's your stuff. It works for you. I'm doing what I do, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. And so I'm thinking about, if I raise this again, am I going to get stomped on? And then I come to the conclusion just this morning, actually, of, well, what the hell? I think it might benefit her. I share it with her. And if she stomps all over it again and walks away from it, I haven't really lost anything. Um, and and she might gain something out of it. And
Yeah.
and if she can be because I saw it in her again this week. She's still struggling with anxiety about her job and starting her job every day. And that's not me. That's just a fear she's got in stepping into a classroom as a new career. And I just thought, you're not getting on top of this. And I feel sorry for you that you're not progressing. So, is the benevolent thing is to give you something new to try, something, a new approach. That, and if you take something from it and you learn something, then great, and maybe you'll be happier in yourself. And if we're together, that'll be 10 plus 10. And if not, then I'll still be fine on my own. Um,
Yeah. 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 Look,
um,
I think in your situation, Mark, it's probably best not to raise it with her. Honestly, I mean, obviously that doesn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form. But she's taken she. The problem is when even though you're suggesting this stuff and you're just taking it and going, look, these toxic habits are great, man. Like it's going to
mm,
benefit anybody that understood these toxic habits, whether they're married or not married, in a relationship, not in a relationship, man or woman. It's like you're going to have a better life.
mm.
But I think the challenge is with bringing it up to your wife. It's almost saying, "Hey, these toxic habits are present in you."
Yeah, I think that's probably something I've learned in more recent
Yeah.
weeks. Like at the time, I was probably not skilled enough to present it in the right way, and as we know, anything in this situation, anything that I suggest is poison. Um,
Mm-mm-mm.
and I think your comment, in the recent weeks, you've said, if you go to your wife and say you're dysfunctional, well, hell, that's just that's I'm thinking about that comment and going, yeah, I'm probably playing with fire. Whereas if it came from somebody else outside the relationship, she
Yeah.
might look at it in a completely
Yeah.
different way.
Yeah.
Um, but
Well,
that's
that's the goal really, is to bring her into an environment where she's just able to talk openly and be able
mm,
to see the benefits of these changes without them being accusatory, if that makes sense.
yeah. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think the progress in that space though too, Cody, like, I've adopted a lot of your little sayings about,
yeah.
where focus goes, energy flows. And I sort of say those with the kids and around her. 6 months ago, she'd say, "Oh, you've got a bloody saying for everything." And I went, "Yeah, it's just part of, I'm trying to reprogram the conscious and
Yeah.
that." And then the other day I said one of something, I can't remember what little saying was, and she said, "Oh, you remind me of that Mike Myers movie, The Guru." And he's got all these little sayings along the way.
Yeah.
And she had a
Yeah.
bit of a chuckle. And I said, "Yeah, well, I have got a guru. His name's Cody." And but she seemed a little bit more accepting of it, that it's producing what's standing in front of her. So um and
Absolutely.
and
Well,
it
that
was a
kind
positive reaction, not a negative
of,
reaction. Yeah.
I think one of the ways to do this is with the toxic habits, for example. It's like the easier way to introduce it to your wife is from the I perspective.
Mm,
I can see now that I was really struggling with this, and I recognize that was damaging the relationship in this way, and I have made this change because that's what I need to do.
yeah.
It's like, I mean, you've probably heard it on coaching calls where I introduce myself as the chief dickhead.
Yeah.
I'll say, hey, I'm the chief dickhead. Don't anybody try to out dickhead me, because you won't. Nobody's going
Mm,
to out dick. It's like, by taking that on myself, by taking on the role of chief dickhead, it opens everybody else up to acknowledge their own shortcomings.
oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, when you say things like that, and I'm sitting there and I'm going, "Yeah, that was not a great moment
No,
for me."
no.
And I did, yeah.
When you take, and this is where people go wrong. It's like people go, so I'm in the wrong. I'm the one that's got to change. I'm the one that's all the, no, no, no. Like, that's not what we're saying. We're just looking for a productive path through this.
Mm,
We're just looking for a way to the other side, right, Mark? And it's like the most productive way is to, you're going to get back whatever you put out. And if you go to your wife, like if I go, you're a dickhead and you need to change, that's
mm.
not going to be near. I'm not going to get nearly the response from you that if I go, I'm the chief dickhead, don't try to out dickhead me. And you go, oh, you're going to go, oh, you got some competition, Cody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's an empathetic move, isn't it, rather than an
Yes.
adversarial move? Yeah. Mm,
Yes, yes.
mm,
Versus, it's like introducing a program to your wife at this point is almost the opposite to that, right? It's going, hey, I think this program would really benefit you, even though
mm.
that's coming from a good place, versus going, look, I I've realized through doing this that I had some shortcomings and I had some challenges and I had some problems, and it's helping me.
Mm, mm.
And if she's seeing those changes, and this is why, like, I think the biggest obstacle most guys have to reconciliation or even any kind of improvement really is like just unrealistic timeframes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like your wife has seen a certain side of you for a very long time,
Mm, mm.
and she has some very concrete beliefs about what you're capable of and the change that you're capable of and who you are. And a lot of guys, they'll make these changes, and their friends will start to see it and comment, and they go, well, my friend's seeing the changes and my colleagues are seeing the changes, but my wife's just not having a bone of it. And it's like, well, your friends haven't had nearly the exposure to you for the length of time that your wife has. She's got more information.
Yeah. They haven't put up with the dickhead as intensely and as for as long.
They don't have the scars, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's interesting, man. I mean, just to throw something out there for really with the women's program, or we're not really here to talk about that, but just like I want to throw some value out there for anyone listening as well. One of the first things that we talk about in the women's program, or as a couple, is like your task for the first week is just treat your spouse with the same courtesy that you'd give a perfect stranger.
Mm,
Just give them the common decency you'd give a perfect stranger.
yeah.
There's there's no way you would say some of the things to a stranger that you say to your wife.
Mm, mm.
There's no way that you would go from zero to hot-headed in the time that you go from zero to hot-headed with your wife as you would with a stranger. You go there like that with your wife. With a stranger, it take potentially months to get to that point.
Yeah, yeah,
If you've got a colleague at work, they've got to do what your wife does for month after month after month to get to a hostile response, where your wife's just got to do it once.
yeah, yeah.
And with if both people within the relationship, and it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're like you're just not happy with the marriage and you'd like something better, or you're thinking about separating, or you're separated, or your wife's left you, or you've left. It doesn't matter, man. It's like there's really no reason that both parties in the relationship can't adopt that view of I'm going to extend to you, Mark, the same courtesy that I extend to a total stranger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think well, I don't think, I know, I've seen it happen over and over again. Like if we do that just for a short period of time, it's like the magic really starts to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing that I put into place pretty early on after joining the program was just that simple gratitude for anything that she does. It's just to acknowledge it with a thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for picking up the kids. Just, very minor everyday things, but just that acknowledgement that she's done something that I appreciate. And it's changed my worldview in that sense of being just more grateful for, like the guys come on the call, grateful for the sunshine, grateful for a hot shower. I remember one from the other. And I find even now, some of the meditation and that I do, and the guide will say, oh, and bring a smile to your face or gratitude in your heart, and I smile, like just sitting there with my eyes closed, and just was never that person before.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it, Mark? Like I was talking to my wife the other night, and it's like, what don't we have? Like we've got food in our belly, we've got hot water, we've got roof over our head, we've got food in the fridge, we've got beautiful, healthy children. What do we have that what do we not have that we would want? What do we not have? And it's like we're in a better position than King Tutankhamun, the pharaoh. We have more affluence and luxury and opportunity and opulence than the pharaohs of Egypt or the kings of old that they could not have dreamed of having.
Well, most of them were dead at our age, so
I mean, you turn Netflix on, and for like what, $15 a month, it's like $1 billion has been spent on 2 hours of entertainment just to entertain me. $1 billion has been spent to entertain me for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's like that's the world that we live in, and that's the level of opulence and that we have in the West. Yet if we can't find happiness in that, I would suggest happiness is beyond you.
Yeah, I really take that statement to heart, thinking about that. You've talked about, we are in this community, we are all financially abundant. We have everything that we need to survive and not only survive, live a full life. Thrive. If you can't find happiness in that, well, you don't need a big screen TV to be happy. I'd like one, but I'll certainly live without it. I'm doing fine without it.
I think that's some of the principles of the program really are pretty basic. They're easy. They're easy to understand, but very difficult to implement, I think. And gratitude is one of them, really. Like people go, well, this is how much money I've spent, and you're telling me to be grateful. It's like, yeah, but you're not doing it. It's like as a coach, it's like I'm not here to give you more information. It's not about giving you more information. It's about getting you to do what you already know. And it's like I remember I was in the business community for a long time. I was a business consultant and a marketing consultant for a number of years, and I'd go into a business, and like the question was not what do you need to know that you don't. The question is, why are you not doing what it is that you already know?
Yeah.
Why are you not doing what it is that you already know? You know, Mark, when you say that, it's going to cause a problem. You know, Mark, when you do that, it's going to create an issue. You know, when you act that way, it's not going to end well. You know, if you did this, it would be positive. You know, if you did that, it would be positive. Yet we don't do it. Yet we don't do those things. We do the things that we know is harmful, and we don't do the things that we know is beneficial. You see it with a lot of the guys. It's like, give me this, give me the strategy, give me this, give me that. And it's like, well, it's not about giving you a strategy you don't have. It's really getting to the bottom more of why are you not doing the things that you know you should be doing.
Yeah. It's all of those. It's years and years of habit and conditioning, and what your parents did or didn't do to you, for you, or otherwise. Private school system that I went through,
Yeah.
that's it shapes you and changes you, and you inherit all sorts of ugly little habits. And you fall back on those habits as soon as you're challenged. Um, that's I think the greatest power that I've taken out of the teachings and the couple of bashings that we've had is just to shut up. As
Yeah.
you say, button the beak. Yeah.
Find the beak, yeah. I think it's a good point that you bring that up, because obviously there'll be people listening to this that are thinking about joining our community, and it's like it is brutal. Like this is not we're not here to make you feel good. We're here to get your result right. And it's like you've had a few bashings, and it's like it is brutal, man. It's like we're here to tell you what you need to hear to
Hmm.
save your marriage and improve things. And quite often, what we want to hear and what we need to hear are two completely different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know?
described it to a friend recently, what was in the program, and I said, the calls are amazing. I said sometimes there's tears, there's a bit of swearing, there's occasionally a good slap about the head. Um, but it's all out of love and
Mm,
honesty,
mm.
to help people get better. And I said I don't think I've ever experienced quite the relationship with another group of men that I have on these calls. Um,
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That really is the goal. And look, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like the answers exist within the community. It's like you say, well, I'm a guru. No, I'm not a guru at all. I have some information, but it's like I've brought no one person holds all the answers.
no,
Yeah, and this to me is it's one of the dangers of therapy, really. It's like you go to the therapist and you're just looking at one person, and that it's assumed that that one person has all of the answers. But the problem is, like, no one person has all the answers. I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers, but I know where the answers exist, and all of the answers exist within the community.
yeah, yeah. I
All
think
of the answers exist within the community.
mm, the coaching call was it Tuesday night with Rob was a very robust discussion around how long should you wait for your wife to
Oh, yeah.
take you. And it got pretty heated. But and I don't think we necessarily solved it, but it was some very powerful viewpoints and
Yeah,
opinions.
yeah, yeah.
Everyone's got a slightly different take
Mm.
on it. And it truly is an individual circumstance. Neither you nor Rob or any of the other guys can say, yep, you should wait 6 months after you finish the course, and if she doesn't come back, hike it. It just is not, there's not a black and white answer for it. But I think it's good to have those discussions, um, and explore that.
Well, at the end of the day, like my answer to that question would be, how long did your wife wait for you to change before making this decision?
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
chances did she give you? How many opportunities did she provide for you? How many times did she suggest a course or a program or counseling or a pastor or some, men's group or something? How many efforts did she make to bring you back into an acceptable place in the marriage, and over what period of time? And like a lot of times I get, well, 20 years, 10 years. It's like, okay, let's go with the 10 years. So your wife waited 10 years for you,
Hmm.
and she gave you your pink slip when? 6 weeks
Yeah.
ago, and you're
Yeah.
questioning how long you should wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
she was willing to give you 10 years to reform your ways. Some cases 20 years or 30 years. She was willing to give you 20 to 30 years to reform your ways. And you're giving her 3 months, and you
Hmm.
wonder why she's not happy with what's going on here. A little disparity there, possibly.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the sad part about our society around separation and divorce too, is that, all the lawyers and all the advisors and the general society is, oh well, she's given you your marching orders, pack up your bags and go and find someone else to make you happy. Everyone just accepts that that's the way this goes. Hollywood's probably given us that vision. You look at the way
Yeah,
Hollywood
sure.
actors get divorced and remarried and stuff like that. And yeah, a lot of people, and potentially even my wife, doesn't have it in her mind that it is possible to put this back together. Yeah, then that's just what we've grown up to. It's certainly the view that we learn here and that we talk about is
Yeah.
somewhat unique in society at present. But I don't think anyone would disagree that particularly if there's children involved, then it is better for the children to put a loving relationship back together, or forge a new loving relationship, even better.
Exactly right. I mean, you don't want to go back into what you just
No,
came out.
no, no. I probably initially I thought, yeah, I want to go back, but I'm very clearly on the path now. It has to be new and it has to be better. Um, and I think she does share that view. She said early on, she said we're never going back to what we had, never.
Mm.
So I think it's just for me, it's going to be just a longer healing process, and it might take. Well, I don't know how long it'll take.
It'll
Uh,
take as long as it takes is the answer.
yeah, I think you said it the other week. You have no idea how you're going to reconcile because you've never done it before. And it will be it yeah it'll come from the most unlikely angle. Um,
And
so
look, this is the thing, Mark. I mean, life's when you're progressing it, like we have to become okay with fear. And I'll tell
mm,
you why, because everything that you want that you don't have right now, which is a lot, right, exists on the other side of fear because you've done everything that you're comfortable to get the things that you want. And it's like if you don't have the finances that you want, then it's because you've limited your investment risk appetite to this level here, and that's produced those results. If you want more return, you've got to take more risk, which means the returns that you're looking for are up here. You've got to be okay in moving into fear and dealing with fear. And it's the same. Everything is going to come to you in a way that's unexpected.
yeah, yeah,
And that's a good thing, because if it comes to you in a way that's expected, it's because you've had it come to you that way before, or you're familiar with it. But like we just said, we don't want what's familiar. What's familiar, it's comfortable, but it's not good.
yes, yeah.
And
It's yeah, comfortable, or even it's just safe, feels safe.
safe,
Yeah,
but safe is not necessarily pleasant. Safe is not necessarily nice. Safe is safe, and it's like the it comes down to that control thing. Guys go, well, I want my wife to come back this way, or I think it should go that way, and it's like, no, just let go of that. It's like she's going to come back to you in the most unexpected way.
mm,
Because she doesn't want the familiar, because that's what she's rejecting. She's rejecting the familiar. She's rejecting the trodden path. She doesn't want that anymore. She
mm,
wants something new, and something new is going to be unfamiliar. And one of the most beautiful and terrifying things simultaneously to me is like, you don't know what you don't know.
mm, mm.
I don't know what I don't know. And it's like that. That's amazing, because it creates a whole world of possibility out there, of infinite possibility, really. But at the same time, it means I'm going to be operating way outside of my comfort zone to get that. So,
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll put another spin on it, which might be
yeah.
useful for others who listen to this. I
Yeah,
work
yeah.
in the construction industry, particularly
Mm.
in the contracts and disputes and things like that. So a lot of negative energy around all of
Yeah.
that. But the fundamental thing I've learned over 20 odd years of doing that is, we all want to work on a project that, builds something great and grand and makes a big profit for the company. But having worked on profitable projects and having worked on projects that have lost millions, you learn shitloads on the ones that lost. You
Yeah.
don't learn a lot on the successful ones. You got to go to that bit of pain, that bit of suffering,
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
difficult moments, and you learn heaps. And I think there's a similar analogy here. So
Absolutely. Success is a very poor teacher.
yes, yeah,
Success teaches bad habits. Success teaches sloppiness and laziness. It's a very,
complacency.
it's a very poor teacher. Yeah, exactly right. Complacency, exactly right.
Mm.
Failure, or perceived failure, is your friend. At the end of the day, it's only failure if that's your resting place.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're just passing through, right? But it's like hardship and failure, absolutely, absolutely is the king educator, the most skillful educator in the world. You'll learn far more from your failures than you'll ever learn. It's like a lot of the guys that we work with, right, on the course. It's like they never in a million years would come to the understanding that they have of themselves unless they failed in the marriage.
Yeah, at 100%, Cody. Like I've lived and acted and been risk averse out of fear of failure for my whole life. And it's taken me a good 3 or 4 months this year to actually shake that word from my daily consciousness. Like initially, I was like, I'm a failure. I failed in my marriage. How can I fail in my marriage? Um, and then, through listening to the identity exercises and working through that, and I still encounter that word. It's there a lot of days. Just it passes my mind, and I go, I'm not a failure, and that's I think the most powerful call of yours that I've listened to was the one where you talked about adopting the identity of a champion.
Yeah.
And I really grabbed that call, and that's my mantra every day. I am calm, I am positive, I am a leader, I am capable of change, I am a champion.
Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny, I've got a friend, he's a big property developer, does $100 million deals. And I was talking to him one day and I said, how do you do it? How do you make these decisions that could ruin you? They're massive decisions, and not only ruin you, but ruin other people and ruin you for a long time. And he goes, well, most people look at when I'm looking at a deal, most people look at it and go, well, what if this doesn't work? And they're processing the situation from what if it doesn't work. He goes, I look at it and I go, what if it does work?
Yeah.
What if it does work? And it's like either position is equally as valid. You have no more evidence to support it not working than you do that it works. And he's like, if I looked at the situation and asked myself, what if this goes wrong? What if it doesn't work? He goes, I'd never be able to make a decision.
Yeah.
And
But I think if you look at, if you look at all those negatives, I've become quite the believer in that concept, that law of attraction and manifesting. You focus on all the negatives, you focus on all the things that go wrong, then you will steer towards them. Energy, focus.
You will become what you think about most of the time. If your mind is negative, you will become a giant shit magnet. That's all you'll become.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you've probably been there on a few calls where, we ask the question like, hey, who knows somebody that's super negative all the time? Who knows somebody that's just a negative ninny and bitchy
Oh, that's
moany?
me. Yeah. Yeah. Or was. I'll say was.
We've got 60 men, 70 men on the court. It's like got one of these men that's got a problem for every solution. It's like, how many people know those? It's like everyone knows one of those people, right? And it's like, how many people are attracted to those? How many people look at that person and goes, that's an attractive personality. That's somebody I want to be in business with, or that's somebody I want to be in bed with, or whatever. It's like that attitude is just utterly destructive to every aspect of your life, not just your marriage. Whereas, we all know people too got a can-do attitude. It's like the Midas touch, right? I know people that everything they touch turns to gold. Everything they touch turns to success. Everything they touch, everything they get involved with it ends up winning. And it's like, again, attitude is everything, man. It's everything. Like it's what did Zig Ziglar say? It's not your attitude that will it's not your aptitude that will determine your altitude, but your attitude.
Yes.
And that's absolutely spot on, man. It's your attitude that's going to determine everything. So we've gone off on one. We're preaching.
Yeah, but we're preaching to the converted, each other.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Let's wrap this bad boy up. I know you're a busy man, so I appreciate your time. What final thoughts? I'm gonna give you the floor to just wrap us up here. Get any final thoughts? Any advice for anybody who's thinking about maybe joining in this community?
I think let go of focusing on getting your wife back. Find yourself first. Truly just that this course brings you into that realization that you as the individual needs to change, that you need to find yourself and reset yourself in life. It's a reset. I think is probably a good way to put it. And you know, by nature, where most of us on this course are in our midlife moments. And this has certainly helped me to refocus and find myself. And I think a quote from one of the other weeks, one of the coaches said, you know, how can your wife find you or even love you if you can't find yourself, if you don't know yourself? And yeah, I haven't got my wife back yet, but I'm definitely happier and better in myself, and maybe that will be attractive to her.
Absolutely.
Mm.
You've said it beautifully. I'm not going to add anything to that. I'm just going to say thank you for your time today, Mark, and appreciate you, brother.
No, thank you. Appreciate you, Cody. Appreciate everything you've helped me with.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.